Hello, good afternoon, and welcome to the Full Force News Burst live special unboxing of, the Mole Rat. We are getting into this beauty courtesy of the good folks at In Demand Toys, and of course, brought to you by GeneralSjoesReborn.com. Of course, it's a news burst. That's what happens. I said I was about to say hope everyone, and then saw there are only 3 people watching. So, 11 now. So hope everyone is doing well. In the obviously throw your comments in. Let's have a nice Sunday afternoon chat and the usual, and we'll bust open a toy as well and have a look inside. Hello, Tac Tac Toys, WJ, Wilfredo Diaz, Jamie Lynn Parks, Joe Barrett, etc., etc. Hello, guys. Hope you're all doing well. Thanks for all the comments. Big event In Demand next weekend, Chris says Tac Tac. Yes, their 20th anniversary, 20 years old, In Demand Toys. Ouch. I knew them when they were knee-high to a grasshopper. No, and they've also got, Hasbro going to be in attendance as well, which is pretty cool. So, massive shout out to Nick, Mass, and the whole team at In Demand Toys. And again, thank you very much for sending me this, guys. You absolute legends. Right, so we've bust into already Crimson Alley Viper, who's behind me. You can't see him. We already looked at Shooter. That was the last one we looked at. Not counting, we're just talking classified here, and obviously not counting the wonderful Skeletron unboxing I did yesterday. And now we're getting into the last of that kind of Night 4C grouping. I think so, anyway. It was just those 3, wasn't it, in that group? In that wave? Mole Rat, Shooter, Crimson Alley Viper. Was there another one that I'm just completely blanking on? Can't remember. It doesn't matter. We're looking at the Mole Rat today, so let's get stuck into that. The Valor versus Venom Mole Rat. Imagine if we were looking at the Swamp Rat. That would be kind of cool. That was a dope figure, actually, in all honesty. Hello, Danny. Hello, MIS1. Hello, everyone in the chat. I hope everyone's having a lovely weekend so far. Let's get stuck into this one then, shall we? Let's do a quick transition. Now I just wanted to remove my name from the corner of the thing. Anyway, yes, let's get stuck into starting with the box. WJ says, was it Swamp Rat or Sewer Rat? Swamp Rat was the name of the Valor versus Venom character that you're thinking of, I believe. Very cool figure. We actually, I think Justin chose it as a deluxe figure that he wanted to see in the future. Or maybe it was an animal companion. I can't remember what it was. I don't think the Swamp Rat has an animal companion, though. It must have been a deluxe. It must have been a deluxe thing we were talking about. But I liked his thinking. It might have just been an honourable mention. I can't remember now. It was ages ago. Oh, Shadow Tracker. No, but Shadow Tracker's in the other wave, isn't he? Shadow Tracker, Wolf Spider, and Shadow Tracker, Wolf Spider, and the other one, and Tunnel Rat. They're the other. That's a different wave, technically. Got some weird spam going on in the chat. Let's block that user, and we won't have any issues going forward. Anyway, yeah, there you go. So let's get stuck into Mole Rat. So the box, again, this is my favorite design of classified boxes to this point. Even more than the new window boxes. I just love this design. There's a lot of people say it's a bit busy, there's a lot going on. Kind of like that. I like that there's artwork, render, loadout, and then you got the loadout here as well. Not 100% sure this is necessary, but it's nice to see everything that you require for this particular set right up the front. Although I think, from a personal preference, if we're going to get loadout on the back like we do, and of course it's changed now, so it doesn't make any difference. This is a mute. This is a void. But I would have maybe allowed a bit more artwork to be on show, or maybe a bit more render to be on show, just to kind of but anyway, I really like this design and I really enjoyed it. And obviously the artwork for this figure is phenomenal. There we see, I always thought that was a lantern. Obviously it's a containment unit for the Dark Energon that this narrative is pushing. But very cool, very detailed, gnarly looking Dark Energon affected human, well, used to be human being there. And of course, it's also on the front as well. But we see the infected in the render with the accessories that they come with as well. This one is packed. It's got some cool stuff. The Cobra mole rat, to give it its full and official name. And then we have the QR code to Nevuary, which some people believe if you scan it at midnight, that QR code, that you find the door to Narnia. So, not saying that's a fact, but yeah, it probably is. Yeah, scan it at midnight, see what happens. And of course, we've got the attributes section in the smallest possible, not even font. What would you call that? The smallest graphics of humankind ever created. Thankfully, they're slightly bigger on the back, and I kind of want to get that. I kind of want to get that key up again and have a look at them all. But I mean, it's going to be things like, disposal, waste disposal, and toxic this and nuclear biological chemical that, isn't it? Basically, yeah, scientific. Anyway, yeah, it looks really cool already. I'm loving this. Is there anything we can see on the render in any way, shape, or form? Not really. The only homage we're seeing with the render, I say homage, but the only thing that's really standing out to me is the Dark Energon, which we know is obviously part of this narrative with these Night Force kind of related waves. Now, I can't. Yeah, and obviously he's in a mine shaft, which you could say, maybe we've had, mine shafts show up in the cartoon a couple of times, like Pyramid of Darkness, for example, the classic shipwreck Timber, Polly, and Snake Eyes scene when they're escaping the jetpack troopers, Indiana Jones style, and Timber gets up on the thing to help. Oh my god, I love that scene more than any other scene in the G.I. Joe Sunbow universe, because it is so funny that they've just gone ahead and been like, what's really funny about that whole scene is that Timber, there's no like contemplating thought process. It's just shipwreck, let's go of it, and goes, Timber, you take over. And Timber just goes, yeah, you got it. And it's just like, what? That is just brilliant. Absolutely hilariously brilliant. Anyway, that's the only homage, I think. It's a stretch, but I think that's probably about as far as it goes with the mole rat render. There's nothing else on there that I can see that might hint at something in the G.I. Joe mythos. Like I said, other than Dark Energon and the fact that they're in a mine shaft. Whenever I say mine shaft, it sounds like I'm speaking German, doesn't it? Good luck with that mole rat. I've opened 7 and 5 have had arms fall off right out of the box. Down south 7. Well, we'll see if that happens to me, but that sucks, man. I'm sorry to hear that. Do you think Night Force, Ripcord, and Crazy Legs will be this style packaging or the new plastic packaging? They'll probably have like HasLab special, sort of like the HasLab His Tank figures, similar to this, but it was different, wasn't it? It wasn't plastic open at the front so you could see it, because you don't need that unnecessarily on a HasLab, because what are you going to do? I mean, you're going to open it and have the same issue anyway. So just seeing it through the box isn't going to make any difference. You're still going to have to contact them to get a replacement or whatever, if they ever do replace things in HasLabs. I'm not even sure if they do that. Has anyone ever had to have something replaced in a HasLab? Because that would be an interesting point, wouldn't it? I love that packaging. Yeah, so do I, Jamie. And I really, I dig it. I really do dig it. Hey, Mole Rat, you got a little thing there on your face. Yes, Scotty, doesn't he? Just brush it off, mate. Bit of sleep in your eye. Dark Energon sticking out. Dude, that figure is so awesome. I'm going to order another one when it is re-released, says J. Robert Bryans. Hopefully you might find some in Walmart. I'm trying not to laugh as I say that, because they are the worst for actually having product, any new stuff on shelves, isn't it? It's kind of crazy. Surprise live stream. Hi, Chris. Hey, you're yes, Michael. A little bit of well, it wasn't. I said yesterday I was going to do it. It's just I don't tell you when, so it's a completely up in the air situation. I got 2 of those bees, and both figures had super floppy legs, like they would sway in the wind. Good luck with yours, Chris. Thank you, Jason. Right, let's get stuck in. A lot of people are saying floppy legs and the arms fall off immediately. Hopefully, I do not have that experience. Before we get into that, though, here's the back. We have the mole wrap with the kind of masked head default on the figure on the left, and we have all of the gear on the right, including that alternate head, which is gnarly as heck, and all of the kind of like the kind of weapon that can have alternate, like the tool, I should say, that has lots of different options to connect to. It's really cool, really awesome. Anyway, okay. Digital dye erasers I open 3, no issues, but I don't treat them with gorilla hands. Fair one. I'm not saying that people that do have issues with that have the same, have gorilla hands, but yeah, I think there is an element of just being a little bit careful with them. But floppy legs ain't nothing gorilla hands can do about that. Right, here we go. Let's open this bad boy. We're gonna go with the weapons crate first, and here we are. Mole rat. There you go. Cobra logo. That's logo, by the way. 94 and 94, and the little handle on the top as well. And then that's it, I think. Yep. You've seen them before. We don't need to go into it. It's a weapons locker, sort of. And we get the crisp packet. We also have the legal gump, which no one cares about. But there it is, just in case you're wondering. Does it have the legal gump? That's all I hear you. That's all I'm hearing. Do a Robo Skull Figures live, Keith. I did one yesterday. Did it yesterday. You might have just missed that. Or just mean for the rest of them going forward, because yeah, I will 100% do that. But yeah, if you missed it, you can go check that out afterwards. Had a lot of fun. There was a lot of fun with those figures. As you can see, already opened. See? All 3 of them. Okay. Itchy nose. Opening the crisp packet of gear. And emptying all of the stuff out. Make sure it's everything out. Okay, I think we're good. So we have a bit of cardboard with a bit sticking out of it. I'm guessing this is, let's have a look quickly. Let's have a butch. I said quickly, and then it takes ages. Oh, okay, nice. So I see why this was in the card. It's the drill bit, which is pretty cool, actually, isn't it? It's straight, which is good. Element of tiny. Yeah, it's decent. I'm cool with that. And this drill bit, of course, attaches to the other piece, like so you can have different attachments on the end of it, and that other piece is there. So this is the kind of tool cum blaster attachment, which obviously you just plop together like so. Boink. And there you go, nice and secure, nice and sturdy. Looks like it's one piece, not the animation. So you can do dropped it again. So you can do a pretend drilling into things sort of scenario. Very nice. It's a really cool drill bit, actually. Different deco on there, which again you kind of expect, don't you? Want it to be kind of like that silver almost, but it's very muted. It's nice, really cool, and lots of good detail on there as well. And yeah, it's actually a little bit. It is wibbly. Like, look at that. It is a little wibbler, but thankfully it's been in that card, so it's kept it straight. Does anyone else keep the crisp packets? Yes, Jason. I just fold them back up and put them back in the weapons crate, and it goes back in the box again. My mole rat figure was fine for me. Just seems like an outline to the outlier to the G.I. Joe line. Outline to the G.I. Joe line. Gonna need some of that glow in the dark for nightclub force. Yes, we do, Scott. Digital says mine were non-import boxes though. No idea if it's an indication of manufacturer though. Don't think so. But anyway, let's have a look at the rest of this gear. We have got, there's so many cool things here. I'm guessing this is like a Geiger counter, or like one of those sort of jobs, kind of like, so they can find out where the dark energon is. But that's pretty neat as well. Cool little bit of just showing you the detail all the way around it. It's got like a little what's the word? A little antenna on there as well, which is kind of cute. Then we've got the lantern that I keep calling. It's not a lantern. This is the containment unit for Dark Energon. I'm wondering if is that glow in the dark, that little bit on the front? Is it like glow in the dark paint? It might be, don't know. But anyway, you've the little handle folds down either side, either way. Looks like a little droid, doesn't it? Looks like a droid from Star Wars with its hands in the air. It's kind of like, I'm all right, mate. Don't shoot me. Lovely stuff. Lovely stuff. Anyway, love that. Really nice little touch. Dark Energon containment unit, or lantern if you're a Victorian gentleman like myself. Right, I'm going to take this off the easier said than done. Yeah, that was not easy. So I pulled the drill off, Kitty said, and I'm going to put the new attachment, which is this kind of front gun attachment with it's got like a little port as well for your blast effects. So I'm going to pop that together, and there you go. You got a big old gun, which is cool. There you go, lovely stuff. Again, into that, but I think that was dangerous. I think I'm going to make sure the drill bit's on there for the most part. Okay, we've got the sorry, I just saw the comments. Thomas O'Mahoney, thank you very much, buddy, for the super chat. I love the mole rat. Some fans might ask, why could Cobra have a tunneling worker trooper? Why? Well, as we learned recently, terrorists love tunnels. Amazing. Well, thank you, Thomas. Appreciate that. And thank you for the super chat, buddy. Good. It's been a long time. It's been a really long time since we saw each other properly. But anyway, here is the backpack, which is also very cool. You've got those kind of like little vents spinner things on the back, which is nice. And then that kind of protected kind of like, you can see a kind of material like around the pipe to kind of make sure it doesn't get so you don't get infected, even though it's failed for the mole rats ridiculously. The conform to the back shape, and then obviously the peg. I'll just throw that down again, and then a little kind of side tab there for I'm guessing that attaches maybe like one of these things to it. Hang on, what have they got on the backpack? I haven't seen that tab being used yet. Is it just for like any of like the attachments? What are you saying in the comments? No matter the distance, love you always, brother. Love you too, Tom. It's been so long, mate. Oh, there's two little tabs. There's one on the bottom as well. So there's a little tab on the bottom, so you can have both you can probably have both attachments like hanging off there. Like maybe that. Or do you think that's for the lantern? It's probably for the lantern, isn't it? Yeah. That kind of looks kind of cute. It's kind of hanging off the bottom. Where, I mean, I suppose you can put whatever the hell you want on there, really. There's lots of there's just lots of different kind of places to kind of clip things, which is really neat. So yeah, or is it that? Are both clips for the same thing? I've clipped it at the bottom and then clipped it in there as well. Probably not, but that's quite funny that it kind of lives there quite comfortably. Anyway, and we've also got this tiny little pipe. Look at that. I'll put it against my hat so you can see it. Tiny little pipe, probably goes in the gob, doesn't it? In the mask. Yeah, I think it does. And then we've got this also. This is the alternate. Well, technically, this is the default on the back of the box, but it's the alternate in the bag. Again, you've got that kind of like orange, very kind of Hazard Viper, Volcano Viper vibes, isn't it? The mask, obviously, really kind of like eerie, sort of. It's got that kind of like steampunk World War II kind of thing going on, this one. Little bit Doctor Who, little less conversation, a little more action. What? The eyes are like a nice kind of maroony, kind of almost like a burgundy color as well, which is pretty dope. Yeah, I like that. A lot of nice detail on that. Really cool. Because you need to put the radioactive sample bouncing against your butt. You do, Scott, 100%. That's why I think the lantern goes on there, because you want that dark energon to be infecting you from the butt first, don't you? Really. So that's all the accessories. So let's get into what we came here for, eh? Yeah. Those eyes glow in the dark. Yeah, I was aware of the eyes glowing in the dark, Jeffrey. I just wasn't sure if the little strip of the lantern did. But yeah, the eyes do glow in the dark. Yeah. Um, they remind me of the Nightmare Scene Soldiers in American Werewolf in London. That's a good shout, actually, Poster Trout. Yeah, it's got that vibe, hasn't it? Yeah, that's a crazy movie as well, isn't it? Jeez, I saw that when I was like really young. I think it terrifies me to this day. That transformation scene. Wow, amazing stuff. Does he say, "Are you my mummy?" Yes, medic. It's like like the Doctor Who episode. Are you my mummy? But first in my go-to agenda every time. But first is my go-to agenda every time. Yes, same with me, Tom. Ready, steady. That's why we're friends. Go, boom. There you go. There's the mole rat. So far, so good. The arms are attached. That's a good sign. It could change though. Let's see. This thing looks amazing. Look at that head. Again, I know there's glow in the dark paint on this as well. So, and I hang on. Ready? No, you can't tell. You can't tell. I'm not set up to do glow in the dark stuff, am I? Anyway, look at that. Absolutely phenomenal. Love the color scheme. That kind of like purpley blue and the orange. Very New York Knicks, but I don't know. I'm digging it a lot. Really good. Good looking figure. Oh, lovely stuff. I'm going to turn the lights down a little bit. That's literally blinding me. Right, I need to do these now, don't I? I found a new technique to remove these. I'm not sure what you guys do, but I just literally get one of them and pull it until it snaps, and that seems to work 60% of the time, every time. No, I'll tell a lie. That every time that's worked. Okay, here we go. Figure is out of the package. I'm being purposely very careful. And then we've got the one. Excuse me, the wonderful black and white artwork in interior again. Really nice. Love that. I think that's a Barrett. It looks like an Oliver Barrett. I know Scott Johnson's been doing a lot of that as well, a lot of the artwork. This really is an awesome, like, airtight body. I guess someone's mentioned it already. Medic mentioned it. Sorry, Scott mentioned it. A few of you mentioned it, actually. I'm just getting here, but let's go. Cobra, says Paul. Hello, Paul. It's a decent figure, but I hope he is not the rumored zombie viper that was mentioned last. He is, Harrison, 100%. I was trying. This is the thing, right? When that information broke, it was like, this is the zombie viper. This was the misidentified, figure that they were kind of talking about, and we know that for multiple reasons. One, because it was in the same wave as the other figures that it came with. Two, it has a number attached to it, and the description of that on that number, if you imagine on the listing, was that it comes with a zombie like head sculpt, right? That was the only bit of information on the listing, and that got out as it being a zombie viper. It leaked out based on that particular bit of information. So because of that, I tried to kind of temper some, expectation, but you can't just outright say it. But then when it came out, it was like, I just thought people would understand that, there you go, that was what they were talking about, and that's what it was. And yeah, so in the end, this thing is amazing. No issues with the arms whatsoever. I've just been messing around with the elbows. This is gorgeous and one of the most satisfying figures in hand. Like, it's so chunky and like, oh, it's great. No wobble on the legs, by the way. Absolutely none. So I don't know what you guys have been getting in terms of figures, but I am not having the same experience as quite a few of you in the chat. No, this is stunning. Look, just pulling them all over the place. He's perfect. This thing is wicked, and this would make a phenomenal airtight base. Like, seriously, this has to be majoritively airtight at some point. Oh god, this is gorgeous. Let's have a look at that head sculpt as well. Let's have a real butchers at that. Look at that. Phenomenal. Dark energon sticking out, all gross and gnarly. Load the details, gorgeous. Obviously, lots of little kind of touches. Like, you've got the black on the blue. which again makes for a really nice, like you can see, can you see how like the material, like on that neck piece, I love how the material folds as if that clip is affecting it on the neck. How good is that as a detail? I just love that, like that kind of little clip on the neck. It looks like it's, you know, pull it, that looks like it's drawing the material towards it almost. It's just so good how it hangs on the chest. You can see all the different little detail elements on it. I love it. Absolutely gorgeous. So we've got little kind of plug on the shoulder piece there. That's the same on both sides, just so you can see that. We've got the Cobra sigil on that side in kind of like a silver. It's a little, it's white, sorry, but it just shines pretty bright on the camera. We've got this wonderful secondary piece here, um, with all sorts of cool little stuff going on. I love that little, yeah, like the little kind of, they're green, by the way. Those little kind of neon green elements on the circular ones, and then above it, that little kind of rectangular bit. Really nice. The teeth are really cool as well. Actually, look at that. There's a lot of detail in this. It's really cool. Here's your pouches on the front. I'm gonna flip him round. It's pretty basic on the back, which is totally cool. There you go, Tom. That's for you. Mole Ratty got back. And again, I love the deco. Very volcano, very, what's the word? Did I call him before? Hazard, very hazard viper. I love it. Do 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 do. So yeah, I just want to Harrison, your question before about the zombie viper, right? So if you imagine, I think Tom has just kind of said it as well. He's he's kind of a character that has a zombie aspect to him, but he's not the zombie viper. The zombie viper still exists and still could be done in the future. So don't worry about, you know, that. But effectively, this was the rumored zombie character, if that, you know, just to kind of clear that up. So yeah, lots of airtight reuse. People are saying, yeah, it'll take your word. I'll take your word on how good he looks because I will most likely not open mine. Get it out, mate. Enjoy it, Kitty said. Tom, it's a pity. I don't know how many casuals impulse buy Joes, but I bet the mole rat could have grabbed a few normies if he's had a window box with his purple crystal growth coming out of his face. Possibly, yeah. But also, even if they just were in Walmarts, not even with a plastic window box, but just if they were in Walmart. Try a T-pose and see if his arms stay. I did. I had his arms out. Isn't that what you wanted me to do? Like, literally, there's nothing is happening to the arms, dude. The arms are like perfectly fine. Nothing is coming off. Nothing is coming out. Like, I don't know what your issue with your particular figures were, but I ain't having it with this one. What else have we got? It's important to remember he's a zombie viper, but it doesn't have to be the zombie viper. There's always room for absolutely, Tom. That's what I was actually referring to that comment you just made before. I'm opening one of mine along with you. The figure feels great. It's fairly stiff, but not too stiff, Kitty said. Yeah, this one, I have to agree with you. Yeah, when I first got it open, I was like, I've moved the knees. I'm like, they're quite strong. And then it just went boop. So yeah, they do go, but you just want to be a little bit careful with it when you first bust it out. I know this guy's crazy cool. I love it. This is like such a dope figure. I'm gonna put all the gear on it. He's getting geared up. He's getting geared up. Scott says mine had an arm off in the box. Wow, so many of you are complaining about that, but I heated it and re-popped it and haven't had an issue since. Cool. That's so weird that's a problem, isn't it? Constantly. They could probably reuse some of him for blowtorch or charbroil. I think there's a lot of figures you could kind of, you know, utilize this body or certain parts of this body for, definitely. I've always thought, like, it's quite a short figure, this one, I think, but I've always thought that Airtight was like fairly tall, really based on his Sunbow appearance more than anything else. Flaffle spacesuit Deep Six like. Yeah, you could probably get away with I don't know, maybe that Deep Six version 2, which I really would love to see in the line at some point. I'm putting the backpack on him. Backpack, I can report, is a nice tight fit. That is something I don't say very often, but that popped on nicely. And as you can see, it kind of like the little pipe is lining up there with his head. I want to put the other head on as well, don't I? Let's gear him up so he's not kind of, what's the word, zombified. So pop the head off, nice and easy, just to show it again. It's really gnarly, that. What are we saying? What are we saying? Don't forget Queen Sleep. I mean, Clean Sweep. That's something completely different. And other eco warriors, of course, Todd. In my headcanon, he is a miner and not even trained as a Viper. Oh, I like that. Yeah, these are kind of like scientists, aren't they, basically, I would say. All my mole rats were perfect, no issues, says Chaz. I wouldn't mind some zombie Joes. Tac tac. Yeah, same. That is a nice kind of secure connection. Now, the side pipe, as I'm calling it, on the backpack will pop into that little corresponding hole on the side of his face. Let me just move that out of the way so you can see it. So you move that out of the way. You can see the little kind of port right there on the side of his mask. That's where that's going to plop into, hopefully. It's interesting because the pipe that comes off the backpack is not like it's actually one of the sturdiest things in the set of accessories. Like for as many of those accessories that wobble, you'd expect this one to be malleable and squidgy or whatever. But no, it's a little bit harder. And I think it's because it's molded to the backpack rather than being like a separate piece. It's actually one big piece. So obviously, you're not going to make a backpack at very squidgy material because it's not going to go in the backpack port very well because you've got to have a strong peg. So lots of things to consider there. And obviously they figured that even though it is a little bit stiff and a bit strong, it still works and it still looks good. And there you go. Cool. He's not going to have much in the way of articulation, looking around and stuff if you want that to stay connected. But I mean, it does actually. The backpack just moves with it, which is pretty cool. So yeah, that's not bad. I thought it was going to really hinder articulation, but then again, in reality, it would hinder your articulation, wouldn't it? Like it would literally make you kind of, it would make you'd just be looking forward most of the time, and you have to move your whole body to kind of look at stuff. But that would be the reality of it. So it's not like you're going to be doing ninja poses with this guy. He's not going to be like jumping off a building attacking nunchuck and snake eyes. So although I think some people probably will set that up. Right, now this little munchkin, I'm guessing goes on the secondary here. So there's a little kind of port on the secondary there, and there's a little hole on the fat end. So we'll put the fat end on that, Kitty said. Just plop that on there. Okay, like so. I'll just put it to the side so you can see it sticking out. And then I'm just going to move it up and pop it into the mouth piece because there's another little hole on the front of the mask. And now, if you thought your articulation on the head was hindered with the backpack hose, well, now he ain't going anywhere. So he's got front hose, side hose. He's got hose in different area codes. Right, let's try and move this around a little bit. Let's get that. There we go. That's really cool. I just want to look at the box art and see. Yeah. Maybe I've got that pipe the wrong way around. Well, the wrong way around, but maybe it goes a certain other angle. Because mine is a strange shape. I don't know about you guys, but it's sticking out like that. But that looks right. No, that looks okay. I mean, it just sticks out a little bit, doesn't it? But that's cool. I'm down with that. Okay. I love that you think it's a miner's lamp as well, Chaz, because that's exactly what I thought it was. But no, I have to be told every time. It's this dark energon containment unit, which it is technically. But it does have that Victorian lantern vibe, doesn't it? Victorian lantern is one of the lesser known Green Lanterns. Hang on. There we go. I feel like he's walking around there like... This is dope. This is super cool. I'm loving this shiz. Right, where can he? Right, I want to know how the storage works. This is driving me nuts. So this little piggy this little device. I'm guessing he holds it like this way round because of the antenna. Is that right? Is that the right way round to hold it? So the antenna's at the top, sort of like that, kind of like reverse handle style, but that looks right, doesn't it? Yeah, it is right because I'm looking at the box art as I do it. I want to know where all these parts fit on because he's got two little storage options on his backpack, and I'm really interested to see what goes on there. Um, Maybe that clips on like that. No, that doesn't work. That looked awful. Maybe that I'm gonna put the gun. I'm gonna put the drill. He's gonna be a driller. This one. He's not gonna be a gunny. He's gonna be a drilly, gunny and drilly. And I'm gonna put the lantern. I'm gonna put it on his butt so it hangs down in the most dangerous place possible. I'm also gonna push it into the middle because that's gonna bug me otherwise. There we go. I guess. Yeah, that's close. Close enough. So he's gonna have the drill and he's going to have the Geiger counter because as he's drilling into the wall of dark energon, he's going to want to know how much he's disrupting to, to basically write his own death warrant. That's there. There's some real like this honestly has some like real proper Chernobyl vibes to me as well. Like there's something really like eerie and mysterious and dangerous and dark and nasty about it, and there's something that's really cool for this particular character. Look at this. This is phenomenal. This is great. It'll be a cold day in hell when I recognize Energon in my Joe-verse. It's a lantern, says Thomas O'Mahony, the hater of all things Transformers. I'm just kidding, mate. I don't know if you are or not. Where does this gun piece go though? Because that's the thing. I kind of can't find a comfortable place for it. I mean, I could clip it to the side there, but it kind of wants to conform, then it warps the barrel a little bit because it wants to conform to the backpack shape. I'm going to put it there anyway. That's where it's hanging out. It's locked in. You see how it's kind of like warping a little bit because of the backpack shape? It does look a little messy there, doesn't it? I don't know what you guys usually do with your stuff, with your particular mole rats. I don't care for the unmasked head at all. I do like the look of this figure. Lots of reuse possibilities. Yeah, each to their own, Derek. Absolutely. I currently have him holding the drill and the sample lantern. The gun attachment is on the side of the pack with the reader on the bottom. Oh, the reader. I like that idea. Yes, because that's like slightly less annoying for his butt. Guess what, guys? I dropped the gun piece. I'm dropping stuff all the time on these unboxings. I genuinely think I'm starting to have a problem. So you've got that going on, right? Which is also pretty cool, and it does work. Just make sure that antenna is pointing outwards and not up his bum. Well, unless you want it, you could do. If you want it up his bum, that's fine. If he wants up his bum, that's fine. The gun piece, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do that. No, because I don't like that either. This is random gun piece I don't like. Maybe I could put the drill bit in there, but then I don't have, that my only issue at the moment is that we don't have enough storage options. Even though the backpack has got two clips for him. I feel like this gun piece is a little bit just in the way. I might just burn it. Yeah, I'm just going to burn it. I'm going to put that lantern in his hand. I'll do this on camera, maybe. It might be a bit better than doing it off camera, just talking about it. But yeah, I'm not 100% sure on what to do about that extra gun piece. Let's just have him like so. Actually, I kind of want the lantern pointing the other direction so you see the glowy bit. Yeah, that's better. That's better. Okay, I think we're in the game now. I'm still holding it like almost like he's lighting the way with it rather than I've just got a sample. I'm lighting the way as he walks down the tunnel. This is, yeah, I really like this. This is a nice kind of loadout. I kind of like this. Yeah, awesome. What we saying? I clipped it to the little bit at the top, not the barrel. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Like the tip of the barrel almost. But you see, even that's kind of annoying, and I'm not sure if it's like flexing the clip out a little bit like that. You mean? Let me know if that's correct. But yeah, it kind of doesn't really want to sit in there because it prizes the clip open a touch. So I'm gonna just shut up about it, stop moaning about it, and move on. Um, maybe yeah. Yeah, someone just said maybe the gun was an afterthought. A bit. It sounds like it. Um, Gunny and Drilly, Walmart two back confirmed. Indeed, Chaz. I love the drill. I got one with the drill, one with the gun, facing off against two mutated ones, one without an arm because it won't stay in anyway. Amazing. I pre-ordered two of them. Sorry, I pre-ordered two, got them, ordered a third while they were in stock, and had it cancelled. Ugh, sucks. Didn't Lenny say the gun was an afterthought? Could be why not all the accessories can be clipped on. Possibly. No, flat rectangular area on the top of the gun. I put mine just above the handle of the gun. There is a notch. The rail. I don't know what you mean. Do you mean this piece he's holding, the blaster piece, or do you mean this piece? This piece here, I can't find. Do you mean like what are you talking about? Because I don't know what you're talking about. Scope mount area barrel down. Interesting. I'm trying it. Like that. That's pretty cool. That is that what you mean, guys? Just say yeah. Because I quite like that sticking out that way. Yes. Okay, brilliant. I see what you're saying now. Um, okay, yeah, that works for me. Yeah, I'm in. I'm in. I think we've got him loaded up now in kind of like a nice, comfortable fashion. It would have taken me a millennia. Probably never would have worked that out, honestly, without the direct specification and direction on that one. Okay, here we are. Mole Rat is fully armed to the teeth with his drill, his mano lantern, his pipes and hoses, his crazy helmet, Kitty said, his backpack, and his gun piece clipped on the side, which actually does fit really nicely and locks in tight. And of course, there we go, the Geiger counter clipped on the bottom as well. This is a really cool loadout. I'm really happy with this guy. He's gonna be displayed like this. I think I do need to get like one or two more so I can do the zombie heads as well because I think that's really cool. And like they're both really cool heads. This is the problem. Sometimes like when you get alternate heads, it's like you'll just go with one of them because like it might, for like Chuckles, for example, it's cool that he comes with an alternate beat up head, but I don't display him with that. So it's kind of a bit pointless. It just kind of goes back in the box, but I'm not that fussed about it because the other head he's got is fine. But with this, the heads are so uniquely great, both of them, that I kind of want one to display with this one and one to display with that one. So anyway, we have a winner. Let's go. Yeah, finally worked it out, guys. Thank you. Thanks for the detailed description of how it clips on there. Brilliant stuff. Next time you talk to Len and M, could you ask if Hasbro would consider keeping the plastic window but getting rid of the plastic tray in favor of a cardboard tray? Music Blitz, that's interesting. Yeah. So you'd still have them sort of like pinched in with the plastic tie wrap things, but you'd have the plastic window showing them kind of still. Yeah. I don't know. I'm not a fan of the trays either. I like the thought of maybe being able to see the figure, but I hate plastic trays. I mean, they're always the noisiest friggin' things in the world as well. Yeah, gonna need two night creepers definitely. I'd like to get multiple night creepers just so I could have like a couple regsies and then one of them with the V2 head, so it looks like a kind of like leader of the pack, sort of infantry squad sort of job. And then of course, night creeper leader down the line would be nice. Can't have enough hierarchy in all the different sub teams, can we? I like the art from the cardboard coffins in the window packaging. Yeah, so do I. 3 or 4 at least. Yes, definitely. Super noisy, take up so much space in the trash. I thought you were talking about me for a second then, Music Blitz, but I get what you're saying now. Yeah, the when you take the tray out, it's like it's the noisiest thing ever. Um, yeah, I don't know. I'm not a fan of it, but they're probably going to stick with that going forward. So I don't think it's going to just because a few people are annoyed at the noise. I don't think it's going to change anything. Um, and it's probably the cheapest way of doing it because it's quickest and cheapest because you just like, you get one like cast almost or kind of pressed in, and then you literally just repeat that process over and over again and make a ton of them. Yesterday you gave a wink. Could go well with a vehicle, maybe a tiger paw question mark. Did I flaffle? I wonder why. I was winking at something else, but no, uh what was I? Yeah, I was winking at it was a Tiger Force reference. Really looking forward to getting one of these guys. I hope they do more out there concepts like this. Same, Andrew. Same. I think this is a real winner of a figure, and just I mean, like the deco is on point. The accessories are really cool. Once you kind of work out how they all go on, I think some of these do need instructions sometimes. Just like a little bit of paper in there, like in the old school. How it's printed on like the back of the just print it on the back of that, like just like a little line drawing of how the stuff gets loaded up. Um, but I prefer they just get rid of the ties. I don't like the ties either, DJ. They've got to keep them in place somehow, I guess, because obviously that would be an issue. But I don't know. I don't really know what the answer is because they've tried everything, whether we liked it or not, and now we're just right back to square one, aren't we? We're right back to the first style. Um, I find plastic trays tend to warp more than the cardboard. They can do if the weapon isn't in the tray correctly, which has happened so many times. Like if they're like rushing it and just throwing the stuff in there, there are times when like a barrel of a gun isn't quite in there correctly, and it's like it's closed, but then it's not like depressed in, and it kind of sits on top of the thing, not in properly, or it goes in, but then it's been pushed too far and it's kind of warped. There's a lot of issues with mass produced stuff. I mean, I think we just have to accept the fact that some things are difficult to change, and you can't have everything perfect, especially with a mass produced item. And I think we just have to accept sometimes that yes, some people are going to get issues with them, and hopefully there is a situation where those issues can be rectified and it's easy. That's the big thing. If Hasbro made it very, very easy to rectify issues, then I don't, that's all you can really do. Unfortunately, it's not that easy, is it? I mean, I've had you want to. That's the other thing. If you're sending them in like an information about like if you're calling them to say, hey, I've got like I'm missing this or I'm missing that or that or this or that, then you just hope they can come back and say, yeah, we will send you a new one. Here you go. Boom, boom, boom. But the problem is, it's almost like a little bit of an afterthought customer care sometimes, not just with Hasbro, but in general. And I feel like, the customer always expects so much more. And the company is always like wanting to stick strong to a policy that might not even necessarily be technically like, in terms of customer rights and things like that, might not be not I'll say legal, but like it might not just because it's a policy in the store doesn't necessarily mean anything. It just means it's going to make it more difficult to get what you want at the end of the day, if you know what I'm saying. But I think like if something is if something is damaged, they should be able to send replacements. If something is warped or broken or whatever, they should be able to send replacements. If it's just a case of like maybe the paint is a little bit off but not perfect, I don't think that should be I mean, like, just get another one. Do you know what I mean? Like, and again, yeah, I get that with it's easy to see if you can see through the plastic as well, which we can now going forward. But I mean, I have literally been buying these figures as well for the last I don't know how many years now, 3 years, and hardly ever have I bought it off the blooming peg. Like 90% of it has just been online. So, like, it's not like you're gonna see it anyway. But that said, there are people that do wanna buy it off pegs, and they wanna see what they're buying, and that's totally cool. But I think the problem doesn't necessarily lie within. There's always quality issues with any mass-produced item. That's what it is. It's a mass-produced item. There are going to be problems in some of the items. It's just life. So it really has to be about how those things are rectified by the company, rather than you've got to make everything perfect all the time, 100% of the time, because it's impossible. There are certain things that might come up more often than not that need like fixing, but I guarantee you they'll know about it, and they'll be working to make sure that isn't a problem going forward. Some things take a long time to get rectified, especially when you've got a long line plan and lots of things are in the works. So yeah, there's a lot of things that come into this that make it look like, oh, Hasbro are just, wobbly weapons. They haven't changed that for ages. There's a literal like battle going on with them trying to fix that, and it's interesting. Um, you got to destroy the plastic tray sometimes. Yes, you do. Burn it, melt it, throw it out the window. Not into the trash, obviously. No, do not litter. The weapons also bend trying to remove from the tray. Absolutely, that's also something that definitely happens in some cases. I had the arm issue with one of mine out of the box, but it popped right back on and stayed on. More like the factory was in a hurry than an actual defect. Absolutely, Jeffrey. And like I said, there's definitely been cases where it looks like they've been rushing this. I've had very good Pulse customer service anytime I've had an issue with an order. Actually, I did have one issue, Paul, and they were really good about it. But that's not to say that everyone has that um, experience for sure. Um, there are a lot of us in box collectors that want the window, and that's totally fine, Chaz. Totally cool. I couldn't give a crap either way. I'm happy either way. So I mean, doesn't bother me as long as I get the render with a bit of armor. I want to see things like cute homages in the backgrounds, like for example, um, the old iguana situation in the background there, bit of deek for you on Vipers. I want to see that stuff on the packaging. And if you minimize the opportunity to do that by making most of it just looking into the package, then that's where I'm kind of like a bit put out. I want them to try, but the thing is they have to have certain things on the packaging. I suppose when you open the window up and do that, you don't have to do like, well, this is what you're getting with it on another image, because you know what you're getting with it. You can see it. So that's that check. So I'm really happy that on the back of those new packages, you've got those renders where you've got the opportunity to throw homage on there, to throw little Easter eggs in there, possible like other characters coming. That is what I get the most enjoyment out of, that sort of stuff. Um, Chris, do you have a favorite of the new original characters that have debuted in classified so far? Mole Rats is up there. I like, I mean, yes, I do actually, and I can't think of the top of my head because I'm an idiot, and I'm always crap when I'm put on the spot. Why can I not see any figures like anywhere? So I suppose what's been super new with classified. I suppose you could technically say, I mean, obviously Roadblock isn't a new character, but Cobra Island Roadblock is a new take on him. That was kind of cool, but I wouldn't say it was my favorite. Oh goodness me. Shooter already has a character, so that's obviously. Oh, okay. Wolf Spider, there's one. So if it's between Wolf Spider, Mole Rat, why can't I think of any classified figures? And I'm like, I've literally got all of them behind me, and I can't. I'm looking at them, and I'm going, yeah, can't. Oh, red ninjas, blue ninjas, but obviously we've had red ninjas before. Blue ninjas is technically kind of no. I mean, again, that's got precedent, hasn't it? Tell me in the comments, and then I'll just tell you out of those which ones are my favorite. My Wolf Spider is missing the little part that connects the NVGs to the helmet. Are you serious? How many of your figures do you have issues with? Because, like, I've just told you all my issues so far in get collecting 1,000 classified figures has been one missing bipod from low light, and the other thing that happened that I've completely forgotten what it is now. The I think it was really basic, like the shades don't go on properly on one of them, they fell off all the time. Like, that is literally it. I can't remember what the other problem was, but it wasn't even that big. I feel like you've had, like, a problem with every single figure you have. Um, I called to try and get that one tiny part. They were out of him then and sent me an entire figure as a replacement. You see, that isn't really helping the situation, is it? Like, if I were Hasbro, I'd be like, "We'll frigging get you that part. We have the technology." I feel like that is what they should be working on in terms of, not so much like quality control, because you can put as many things in quality control. You can do as much as you want with quality control, but it's you're never going to be perfect with mass produced items. So it should always be about the customer service after the fact, in my opinion. 84 Rain bought one of these with the Valkyrie 2 pack off Hasbro Pulse, and my mole rat came with two right hands. Hasbro Pulse sent me a new mole rat and another Valkyrie 2 pack. Like, sometimes it's like overcompensating as well, isn't it? But that's great. What a great outcome. You got like multiple blooming Valkyries now, and you've got a to just take one of the hands off, and you've got a zombified, oh, his hands fallen off situation. Um, Jeffrey says, I did have to go around and around with Pulse once regarding a convention exclusive. They eventually made me whole, but only after I left bad feedback. Again, you feel like yeah, that needs to be the thing, the main issue, shouldn't it? Like, get everything squared away first, and then there are other issues that come into play here. And from, again, from a company point of view, let's think about that for 2 seconds. There are people, not saying any of you do this in the comments, there are people that mishandle items and toys. There are people that take them out of the box and they just, they give it some for all the joints and everything. That is a stupid thing to do, because if you like, even if you take the strongest, best figure out of a case, they might have stiff joints, and physics dictates that the stiffer the joint, the more likely there's going to be a break or snap if you are too rough on it. So you apply heat if there's a stiff joint, or you do it gently. There's no point doing what you're going to do, like, just because you're impatient, because it's going to do is lead to more issues and annoyance and frustration. And then the people that are more likely to do that bust their figures from just, being ridiculously over, not enthusiastic, but just like overly aggressive with them. That's going to happen. Somebody sent me a video once saying, "Oh, this figure broke in my hand." It was like some sort of Mattel figure, I think it was. Anyway, and they said that, yeah, I just I moved this and it just snapped really easily. And I watched the clip of him unboxing it, and he literally, like, took out the box and just went whang, and it went, and that one of them moved okay, and then he did the other one really hard and it snapped, and he went, "Oh my god, can you believe it?" And I'm like, yes, I can believe it. Why would you do that? That is a lack of intelligence. That is not like, the figure's not made right. It's like, think about it. If it's a stiff joint, heat it up, loosen it up, and then move it. Like, I mean, like, ugh. I mean, you can't fix that kind of thing. And then some people will have that entitlement feeling where it's like, you know, um, the figures should be exactly to specification. Whose specification? Your expectation is what you're basing this on. You expect a figure to come out of a box and be instantly perfect, and sometimes that isn't the case. Just think of the basic conditions a figure has to go through from factory to delivery. Think about, like, the different weather conditions it might have had to go through. It might have been in the frigging cold outside your house for like 24 hours or something. Who knows what it might have to go through. And therefore that plastic, it expands and it detracts depending on certain outcomes like that, certain environmental impacts. So it's one thing to just say like, and in some cases, I will 100% agree there have been QC issues in the past. There have 100%. But then what I'm getting at is that there are aspects that don't get taken into consideration, that get lumped in with poor QC, which is just not the case. These things are still going to be slightly delicate. There are going to, like, you're talking about tiny joints, tiny little kind of like bits of engineering that are going on here that aren't always going to be superbly perfect. You know that's the case. Um, but anyway, so it's just a little bit of a bugbear for me because I've seen examples where it's like that's your fault, and you're going to now complain to a company, and you're going to like, you're going to give someone absolute crap in an email or on the phone who it has got nothing to do with them. You're going to make their day worse because you were too rough with something. It's like getting glassware out of, like getting glassware delivered and kind of like dinging it on the corner just to kind of like make sure it's secure, like, strong enough. And then it's smashing. And then you're going, right, well, that wasn't made very well. It's like, well, maybe don't smash it on the corner of a table. Um, Try that. So there's aspects like that that bug me. But again, I will 100% concede there have been 100% issues with QC that have then later been, improved on, rectified, dealt with, and again with a mass-produced item. And you're putting, and again, there's a lot of trust being put into the factory making it, and then like you get to a point and you get like you'll be coming back with comments saying like this needs fixing, this needs changing, this needs doing. It will go back, and you might not have the time to get another one back to do more comments on it. So it might just end up being like, okay, we fixed those issues, and you're putting trust in them. They run the line, and then there's an element, there's a problem, there's an issue. So that can happen. But what is interesting though is just the amount of problems I've seen people have, that they'll come up and they'll be like, I've had this came off and it doesn't work anymore, this doesn't fit, or this is broken, or that. And I'm like, what are you doing with your stuff? Like I said, I'm literally taking this out, posing it, moving it around, putting the stuff on it, putting it on display. Are some people just like slamming them into the ground and then jumping on them? And like, is that what's happening? Because there's got to be an element of kind of like understanding with what you're dealing with as well, definitely. And again, there's a balance going on, isn't there? But again, I would say, coming back to what I said before, with QC issues and if you have a problem, I'll solve it. You call the customer help service, and they should be able to, like, it should be a case of like, yeah, we'll replace that, no problem. Or send us an image of the damage, send us an image of what happened, of what the problem is, the figure, and we'll get that to you straight away. That's what it should be, 100%. There should be no like, there should be no other kind of like situation there. But also, as a consumer, you kind of have to like be honest with yourself and what you did with that figure in the first place, I think personally. But again, sometimes it doesn't go both ways for a lot of people, does it? A bit of deek for you. I think I said that, didn't I? Easter eggs in the packaging is the coolest. I think so. All in all, I've not had many problems. Yeah, same. Right, I really don't get many issues. Oh, Firefly was the other problem, wasn't he? A quarter of his body doesn't have the camouflage, the dark grey camouflage on it. So random. Um, um, my Cobra Island roadblock is heavy duty in my head canon. That's a good shout, Derek. Actually, I did think that right as soon as he was revealed. I thought that's heavy duty, isn't it? But you never know. We might be getting heavy duty based on that trademark information that came out a number of months ago now. I don't know if I haven't seen his name mentioned on any kind of like official stuff other than that trademark news that came out. But it would be cool to get heavy duty, definitely, especially if they gave him that giant desk with machine guns in it and missile launchers on it. And the fact that it does look like a desk. It does look like you could sit down and do some taxes on that thing. That is ridiculous. Oh yeah, Kiko. Forgot about Kiko, Jeffrey. Good shout. The Valkyries as well. Although female Cobra troopers and officers are not new, So the Valkyrie's name is new, but in terms of new characters, they're not new, in my opinion. Shooter had a figure previously, yeah. So at the moment, it's a Kiko, Mole Rat, and Wolf Spider, unless people have got other options in here. Ferret Scout, Scott, that's a good shout, but we haven't really seen that yet, so it's not really exist yet. It's a tight balance of window and card art. I like the window for shelf displaying because I didn't take them out. That's a good shout, Jedi Bean. Again, I have no issue with whether it's see-through or not. I was into the packaging when they first came out. I love the artwork on the back. More artwork, please. More Easter eggs, more renders. I love that stuff, 100%. But happy to have that window to see what's in there. Not a problem at all with that. I would have been really upset though if it just been the window and on the back you'd have just got like, you'd have got that. I'd have been like, I'd have revolted. Honestly, I'd have kicked off like originally, like the people that wanted window boxes kicked off. It's a my Helix came in with the bent. Sorry, down south. So I'm not ignoring your comments. It's because they're based on what we've already been talking about. You were saying, and I don't. It's kind of out of context. Doesn't really make much sense now. But you said here, right, and those both came straight from Pulse. One of my Arctic bats had 2 right hands, dude. It's like every figure is a problem. That's mental. But that's the thing, isn't it? 2 right hands. That's not your fault. You didn't pull that out of the packaging, like yank on a joint, and all of a sudden he's got a different hand. No, that is a problem where you call them and you say, "Hey, can I get an actual figure with the right things in here, please?" And again, that's going to happen with a mass-produced item, isn't it? But as I said before, the perfect world should be that as customer service, that should be rectified, and it should be rectified like that. Do you know? There should be a way to really get that done rapidly, in my opinion, because that is, you're then like, if there was an issue, at least you're dealing with it, and that looks better than oh, it's a QC issue, we'll deal with it in the future, sort of thing. But yeah, my Helix came in with a bent leg. That's the only problem I've had with I've seen that on a few Helixes, Derek, and I'm terrified to open mine because I love Helix. I'm so excited for this figure, and I'm a little bit worried about having that leg issue. But I will probably do a bit of heating on that and try and, almost like not melt it back into place, but try and melt it in a position if I have the same issue. Poster out says, or Poster Trout, sorry, says, missing paint on Firefly was your order issue you mentioned, Chris, right? Yeah, I'll show you. Because it shouldn't be difficult to get hold of him. Although I couldn't find him yesterday, could I? Bear with me. I go in, bear with me. No, I go in and there's a bear with me. Let's see if I can find him. Where is Firefly? Like, seriously. He's got, oh, I know where he is. He's at the back at the top. Yeah, I found him. Hopefully you can still hear me and it doesn't just go like, completely radio silent there. Yeah, look. Absolutely no camo on his body. But there is on that side. Isn't that crazy? And it's on the bottom, look. So it's a quarter of his body is not camoed. So you got the camo. I did an unboxing of this before. So the camo obviously is on the articulation point there. You can see it, 2 little spots, and then it's on that side, and then you come around this side, and there's just nothing. It's just all clear, and I don't understand it. It's like, obviously the mask wasn't done properly. The paint mask wasn't done properly at the what they call it, the factory. But yeah, and funnily enough, it was during that period of time, Firefly and Lowlight, of course, were my only issues. These kind of figures came very similar time period, in that kind of like what felt like a rush, didn't it? It felt like a real, let's get these figures out before the end of the year. Let's get caught up with the line plan, etc., etc. And because of that, you end up with issues as he drops the bloody gun again. I swear, this is like every freaking episode now. It's like, oh, watch Chris unbox this and drop everything on the floor over and over again. Okay, I'm gonna Okay. What I'm going to have is I'm going to have a little net underneath, like a catchment area that just stops anything from landing on the ground and me having to like struggle to pick it up. There we go. Right. So we'll come back to the comments here. So yes, poster trout, that is my issue with Firefly. And of course, the missing bipod with low light, which Nick says he's going to sort out, but I haven't chased him up for it yet. And I will eventually, but it's no big deal. It's not like he hasn't got his sniper rifle out, because I like having all the gear on his back and having the little the smaller gun in hand. I also I found a random. You might be able to help me with this, guys. Let's get some crowd sourcing information going on here. I have a random. What's it called? Stick on the end of a silencer, suppressor. When I moved, when we moved, Kate and I, obviously I put all my classified figures in a big container thingy, including all of the accessories, because I didn't want anything kind of to get lost in transit. And I know this doesn't go with this gun, this suppressor, but I found it and I couldn't figure out who it goes with. I've got every single figure out, and not one of them it has this suppressor. And I've looked at every single figure release. What suppressor is this for, guys? Please tell me. Who does this belong to? Because I cannot for the life of me figure it out. I've looked at every single release. I'm going to have to skip a few. I'll come back to this and then I'll see what you're saying in the comments. New characters are Mole Rat, Wolf Spider, Valkyrie's not a new character, Ferret Scout. I think that's it. My two figures were my breaker. Loose wobbly legs can't stand. Mole Rat, the arm came out of the socket, doesn't stay in when I try and put it in. That sucks. I asked to get on a list and just wait for the one tiny part. I wasn't asking for a whole figure or anything, but they wouldn't do it. It's annoying, isn't it? I'm waiting for Mole Rats to go up again. Yeah, I would be nice if they had parts. I'd consider Old Man TF Outback new and is pretty awesome. Again, he's not. I mean, he's not a new character though. That's the thing. Unfortunately, just earlier to send a whole new figure. Oh, that sucks. I hope we get repaints to the Range Viper. Absolutely love the Fire Team deco, Chaz. Yes, beautiful. I haven't got the Fire Team yet, but that deco seeing in the images of it is phenomenal. New characters. Mole Rat, Wolf Spider, Valkyrie is not a new character. Ferret Scout. Arctic Bat, though, isn't either. We've had Arctic Bats in the past. His Tactician. I like it. There you go. That's more like it. So his Tactician, Mole Rat, Wolf Spider, and we'll say Ferret Scout for now. Not my favorite figure. Left arm falls off just sitting on a shelf. Interesting. Again, like, this seems to be happening a lot, but not with mine, thankfully. His Tactician and Gunner. The Gunner has been done before, Scott. Obviously, it's a female Gunner, so that hasn't been done before, I guess. But the His Gunner exists in multiple ways in the modern 4-inch line, basically. You kind of change the laws of physics. Oh, people, yeah. When I was in my rants. I wonder if they will use the Arctic Bat for the IG bats versus the standard bat, or maybe change it up a bit more. I'm hoping for more of a change up. I'm hoping for a new head. They might. I could see them. I could see that though, Flaffle. I could see them just doing a IG deco on an Arctic Bat. So you got the new head with the IG deco. You've got like, I mean, the chainsaw doesn't really make much sense though, does it? But they'd want to probably reuse that piece, so it would probably be in there. Someone said a sword before, which I thought was a good shout, because obviously it's had the sword and previous versions of the bat, but doesn't seem to. Yeah. Anyway, here we go. I watched some guy on YouTube breaking the same Transformer 4 times because he was transforming it wrong every time and kept cursing out Hasbro. Genius, isn't it? Lol, Chris from customer service. I won't even take a figure out of the box for 24 hours if it's been shipped in cold weather. That's a good shout, Derek. Yeah, get it kind of like safely back to a normal temperature. Even hot weather can have, effects on that stuff as well. What was it? The craziest one I saw, not necessarily affected the figure, but the bubble melted on, I think it was Duke and Cobra Commander 2-pack that Pat had. It had been out on like the porch in like a real hot day for like a couple of hours, but he got it in, opened it, and the bubble had like literally like malformed and come off the card and was all it was crazy. Um, as for the mole rat, it's more of a design flaw issue than actual production QC. It's probably by the sounds of it, but it should have been caught before production. Again, down south 7, you can say that as much as you like, but I guarantee you these things are looked over with a fine tooth comb, and it is again down to the trust between are the factory dealing with that particular issue or not. And some things you just can't you cannot plan for. And there's another one as well when there's when you get like bubbles appearing in the plastic tooling process. Bubble, like little air bubbles, can cause all sorts of issues. Not saying that that's what's caused this issue, but that's again something that you can't as a company really do anything about. And if the factory are then like going full production, they do it, they send them out, there's just nothing you can do. um Again, like, you've got to hope that you're working with the best factory available, honestly. And for a while, I will say that the classified line was being it was in a very good factory, probably one of the best ones that they have, Hasbro. And then all production was moved out of that factory for, I want to say, starting lineup. I think starting lineup took that the best factory basically, and everyone else had to kind of like, you know, start from scratch with new setups, or you know, factories that hadn't been used for that kind of thing before. And so there was a lot of problems that went on in that period of time. um but yeah, what else is going on here? But yeah, there are definitely times when you think, or like I have asked outright, like, oh, what's going on with this particular thing? And it's like, hey, when we did the comments, when we put it in, this was highlighted, and we're kind of peed off that it wasn't done that way. So it is one of those things where, like, what, you know, you literally are at the mercy sometimes of a good or bad factory. I think when they make people whole is a part of customer retention. To be real, when they help those few people, they retain that customer. So it helps at the end of the day. Totally. I'm sure they keep track of how many times you call with an issue. They'll only send you so much free stuff. Yeah, I would. Well, yes and no. I genuinely think they don't have enough time to keep tracks, or keep track of that kind of stuff, unless obviously they are sent. I mean, when they send you something, it is officially noted. And I suppose if you've got like a profile on their like system, you know, like a Hasbro Pulse one, if you have lots of examples of a return, or I don't know, something like that, then maybe it might be like, oh, hang on, or maybe they might look at your profile to, you know, see that. But I don't know. That's an interesting one. But it could be they could keep a close eye on that sort of stuff. Um, the end of the day, see how happy some of these chat people are since they help them out. Yeah, true. I see. These figures require some TLC. Absolutely. That's good to know that you've had good customer service down south, honestly, with Pulse. And yeah, it's just that the solution doesn't necessarily fix the specific issue. No, I totally agree with you on that too. And I'm glad that you've also had good customer service with Pulse, because I've good experience with them. And also they have in the past sent something to me that I'd ordered on behalf of someone else. A friend of mine wanted something, and I had, because I had the premium membership, they asked if I could get it for them with the shipping situation, and I was like, yeah, sure. So I ordered it, and when it came in, it was 3 items, and one of the items was wrong. And I contacted them. I explained it. It was dealt with in, I would say, less than like 10 minutes. I would say it wasn't a long time waiting. It wasn't a long time going through all of the, you know, all the crap and the process with it. And then thankfully they said, yeah, we'll send that out, no problem. You should get it in the mail, what have you. They sent the same order again, so all 3 figures. And I was like, awesome, thanks very much. I actually emailed them and said, you sent all 3 figures. They're like, oh no, that's fine, you know, just enjoy. And I was like, thanks very much. So that was really cool. And again, overcompensation, but it made me kind of like, yeah, it made me like a fan. Um, and they weren't even me. They weren't even for me, those figures. So my lucky mate got absolutely showered in them. I wasn't going to. That they were some things that I don't collect, so I wasn't just going to take them just for the sake of it. Um, I got shock oil for classified legs, specifically per a suggestion from Robbo, but I typically do warm water depending on the line's usual tolerances. Interesting, Andrew. Yeah, I tend to just put a hairdryer on it for like 10, 15 seconds from like, fairly close. Just put a little bit of heat on it, and that usually does the trick. An absolute treat. Serpentor was the worst one I had. His knees were not moving, and I actually thought at one point, are they? Is this like one? Is this statue? Have I got articulation in these legs? Gave it a bit of heat, bit of movement, bit of heat, bit of movement, bit of heat, bit of movement, and eventually, think. And I was like, oh, good. But yeah, that was a mission, Serpentor's knees. But I'd rather have that, honestly, than Sergeant Slaughter vintage legs, which go at the bottom. My Sergeant Slaughter, if I wave him, his legs just go. It's really cute. Fighting Codename says, lol, a machine gun desk. I know, like, it is a desk. It's huge, that thing that he carries, heavy duty. Is the His Tactician a new character? Yes, His Tactician is. I'll give you that one. Just curious, are you located in the US? Just trying to figure out your posting schedule. Yeah, Ashley. Yes, I am in the US. I'm not going to say exactly where now, though, just because I've got a feeling you're going to be round here looking for stuff on the porch of my house. I don't think they hold on to parts. I had an issue with. No, they don't. I had an issue with my figure from the Loyal Subjects. It was the new IDW TMNT Leonardo sword was bad. They don't store parts. They told me to return it. Interesting. I've had that in the past where sometimes if it's like your first offense, we'll say, they'll just send you a new thing and it's like, forget about it, enjoy it, sorry, move on. I think if you've had a couple of things, they'll start to say, yeah, can you send that back and we'll send you this. And there you go. Which is a little bit annoying because that obviously will put you out of pocket for shipping. But I do like it when a company sends me a return label to send something back because it means they're taking full responsibility for that, and I do like that too. I like the windowless better, however, was burned on the Viper 3-pack, came with 3 Marvel Legends female characters. Amazon replaced immediately, but I was still annoyed. At least they replaced it, Medic. Could have been worse, but yeah, I get it. I like the idea of the Windows packaging, love the art, but it was way too easy for scammers to figure swap, and it also hid any QC or production issues. Totally. I have to check my Firefly out. I was so hyped, I just displayed him with the rest of Cobra leadership. Yeah, check it out. I'm going to need a figure safety net. I'm going to need one. Chris needs a 1980s kids G.I. Joe cafeteria tray to hold weapons. I've got one. I have one. Movie Baroness, Andrew. Baroness is not technically a new character, so I can't take that one. That particular Baroness is, but no. If we're just talking like Steel Core has got precedent. Viper's got precedent. Oh, sorry. I see. You mean for the suppressor? I thought you meant new characters. Sorry, I'm doing that thing where you like a step behind everything else. Movie Baroness. I think you've called it. I think you both called it, Andrew and Soda. I think you both called it straight away, and that's why I didn't realize. It is, look, because she doesn't have it. I put it on low light because I thought it was really cool on that particular weapon, and it does actually look really dope on this weapon. Look how much cooler this weapon looks with that suppressor on it. Doesn't that look cool? Anyway, you're right though, guys. I think that is the movie Baroness one, and that's why I couldn't find it. Back to normal. She has her suppressor returned to her. That is honestly, I know the movie and all that has all sorts of issues, but she is a brilliant figure. I love this figure. Phenomenal stuff. I've got to put her back on now without knocking anything over. Wish me luck. Got quiet then, didn't it? Right, okay, yeah. So sorry, low light. You're gonna have to go without that and your bipod now. Oh well. Thank you guys. Yeah, it's movie Baroness. I don't have Steel Core, so it wasn't that. Viper 3-pack I checked and it wasn't that. Tomax and Zama already have their suppressors. But it is Baroness. Thank you guys. Everyone, thanks to everyone that asked and like commented and everything. Yeah, I literally checked all of them and just forgot that the Baroness does have that suppressor on that rifle. Um, Brilliant. Uh, yeah, cool. The main problem I've had is FedEx smashing the crap out of the box and not quality control problems. Mark and Rosa Bowers. Um, I have so many issues with the post, so many issues with the post, and sometimes you get like good runs, and then other times it's just an absolute friggin' nightmare. And FedEx are a little bit of a nightmare for me sometimes. Um, yeah, they exactly the starting lineup comment. Yeah, big time. Um, I don't want to take advantage of our February 7 times investment returns, I'm afraid. So I'm going to block that. Sorry. One issue I'm worried about is what would happen if the new his tank canopy was to break and there's no replacement for them. Cry, be very careful with it. But yeah, I know what you mean, Wilfredo. That is a that's tough, isn't it? Really. Hasbro replaced the items at no charge. Good. Calling them definitely yields better results than emailing. Oh, big time, big time. Oh yeah, FedEx lost 2 Crimson Vipers after Pulse verified they were delivered somewhere other than my address. They replaced them. That's good. 2 weeks later, the original one showed up. That's happened to me before. I've been like, it says it's been delivered. I don't see any delivery, and I've got the information here. Sent the screenshot. It says delivered. It says it's been left somewhere. Like there's a note to it. There's no image. Like sometimes I'll take a picture. Amazon do that. I really like that when Amazon do that because we can then tell which house they've left it at. Oh, great! Not at our door, but it's obviously down the road somewhere. But yeah, I have had it where I've said, "Oh, it hasn't delivered," and it said it's delivered, and they're like, "Okay, we'll send you a new one." A couple of weeks go by, the new one comes in. Great. A couple of weeks go by, the original one turns up. Where have you been? And what the hell? So yeah, that's always quite interesting. Maybe it's gone to someone else, and they just haven't had the time to come and re-deliver it or get it to the post office or tell. Could be something along those lines a lot of the time. Um, Chris, they should put more of the exclusives in the online store for those that got screwed out of the Range Vipers and Eels. Sold out every time I tried to get some. Well, it looks like the Eels are going to be retro carded, so that's them getting around that, isn't it? Basically, they're going to be doing those as army builders, and I think a lot of people are going to buy the Eels on the retro card because, again, it's a really good way of doing it. It's a really good way of getting that figure out again, unless they do they probably make some sort of change to it, like some sort of deco change or whatever, which could be one of those things that annoy people, but you're getting another opportunity to get hold of it. But yeah, I think Range Vipers and Eels, they could run another 20 runs of those and people would buy them. They're great figures. Movie Baroness is my Renegades Baroness until we get a proper one. Nice one, Scott. I like that. I was talking about the suppressor soda. Yes, you were. Thank you for that. That last message was really for whoever watches from Hasbro, says Ray. Yeah. So yeah, Eels and Range Vipers, please. Jedi Bean, I've had trouble with the boxes being smashed and bent when Hasbro Pulse sends them. The mailer will be fine, but the interior items are roughed up. Interesting. And then trying to get an email return is tough. Yeah, you're better off calling, definitely. Anyway, this was an unboxing of this beauty. The mole rat. It's turned into like absolute rants are us, hasn't it? We've just basically been going into details about customer service and all the good stuff that people want to hear on an unboxing. Range Viper will definitely get all the repaints. I could see them doing a purple one for Skullbuster. That'd be really cool, actually. I could see it not as an army builder, but as as Skullbuster. And I could see female Range Vipers would be great because then you could kind of get an EV out of that too. You can maybe do a purple version, maybe do a 3-pack, and you could do 2 standard female Range Vipers and 1 purple one. That would be wicked. In fact, I'd be down for a 3-pack of Range Vipers with a Range Viper with Skullbuster. That would be so cool. That would be so good. I'd be well into that. Watch Eel Retro just have the red flippers. Reissuing Eel as retro is great unless you're missing that numbered box in your collection. That's true as well. If you're into, yeah, I mean, again, I got fortunate with that because I got them from In Demand Toys. I got 2 of them. Chris, what's your guess for February 2019, 29? Hold that thought, Soda, because I'm going to do a video tomorrow where we talk about what we could see on the next live event. So that is that's what I want to do. Maybe we do it tomorrow because I've still got a lot of work to do on Let's Talk Classified Leatherneck. But yeah, I think that's worth an extra video entirely, and we can really get into the details of what's out there, what we could see on the 29th, and we'll do a preview of that event basically. Cool. Ray says that's why I started the collection of Classified, was because of the numbers. Interesting. Jamie Lynn says, I have movie Baroness displayed with Destro and Baroness. I think of her as their daughter or an assistant bodyguard. I like that. That's interesting. Yeah, I like that idea. Didn't they have a tan range viper from Operation Moth? Flaming Moth, I think it was called, John. Yeah. And also a green one that came with a whirlwind from the modern era. Yes, and yes. Correct. It's like black and green, isn't it? It's well dope. The Operation Flaming Moth set, yeah, it's like a desert, basically tan, isn't it? The range viper. But yeah, look, give us all the flavors. Anyway, Mole Rat. Hope you've enjoyed today's unboxing, guys. It's an interesting one because it's gone on for ages and we've talked about other things, so that's really cool. So thank you very much for all the comments. And also, yeah, I think that was quite productive, actually. Quite a productive conversation. Didn't Baroness have a twin? Maybe that's her. Yeah, her twin was called Senorab. Baroness and Senorab. I don't know. I just made that up. Does the Baroness have a twin? I've missed that somehow in the history of G.I. Joe. But I think you're right. Didn't she? Oh God, yeah. Actually, now you say it, it's coming back to me, but very slowly. Chameleon was the character in Chuckles, wasn't it? The Cobra Chuckles, the Cobra issues. But was that also the Baroness's twin, and was that official? I'll have to look that up. But anyway, thanks very much, guys. It's been a pleasure. The Mole Rat is now going to adorn my wonderful display behind me that you can't see because I've always got this display. Low Lights Lost is suppressor now, unfortunately. That's now back with the Baroness where it belongs. And Firefly is still sitting here unpainted for half of his body. So that half. So I will bid you adieu. Thank you very much for joining me, guys. It's been an absolute pleasure. Like I said, I felt like that was a very productive chat. I like it when it's like, we can have conversations, we can have discussions. Doesn't have to get like aggy or aggressive. It's just nice. I like that. That was good. Good discourse. Anyway, I will see you guys probably tomorrow, the way things are going. Thanks for stopping by and seeing this dude. We've got loads more to unbox. Vipra's next event for unboxings, and Stay Fresh cheese bags and all that palaver. Have a great rest of your weekend. Enjoy, I don't know, the Grammys. Enjoy just chilling out. Enjoy your mole rats. If their arms stay on, that is. Have a great rest of your day. Stay Fresh cheese bags, and after 3, you know what to do. 1, 2, 3. Full force! Mole rats. That's it for this installment of the Full Force News Burst. Make sure to like, comment and subscribe. See you next time, and as always, full force. Make sure you get involved with the discussion by liking, sharing and commenting on these videos, and as always you can keep up with the show after listening by following on X, formerly Twitter, @The Full Force, liking the Facebook page, facebook.com/The Full Force. We've also added a brand new Instagram, so check us out there as well, @The Full Force Podcast, and if you would like to contact the show you can message us on any of those platforms with feedback and questions. We also have a Patreon page, so if you want to show your support for the show, see your name up in lights on these videos, or enjoy exclusive bonus content, then check out patreon.com/The Full Force Podcast, or click on the link on any of the posts this podcast appears in. Full Force.